Every minute, every second that passes, I just have to say that it is just a matter of time. And the football player Kylian Mbappe makes that final decision about where his destination is, and it is known that he has already parted ways with Paris Saint-Germain, and he's told PSG that he's definitely not going to be part of the squad come next season, and is been linked to a number of clubs, with Arsenal showing interest. But now we need to understand, we need to know where is the next destination of the football player, as potential clubs that he could be moving in are Arsenal being one of those clubs that he could be moving in from a reliable source across the web. Football.London coming up and saying that Kylian Mbappe could definitely make that decision to move to the club Arsenal, and it should not be ruled out. However, having said that, it will be noted still that the football player Kylian Mbappe has also had a number of clubs interested in him, and the biggest club, actually one of those clubs that have made contact with the football player, is Real Madrid. So Arsenal also want a piece of the talent of Kylian Mbappe, and the Saudi Pro League clubs also want Kylian Mbappe. According to Football.London, Arsenal are very interested and willing to pay a reasonable amount of money for the football player Kylian Mbappe. Football.London goes on and says that Arsenal is one of those clubs that, if agreed upon with Kylian Mbappe, he is willing to make that move. But Arsenal has to pay the amount of money and still has a bit to go on and agree with the football club, and the football player agreements definitely have to be in place as this very transfer to take place. How true is this from Football.London? So I would not take, I must say, on a realistic point of view. Anyway, before we go there, before we get into the Kylian Mbappe saga and his potential transfer to Arsenal, it will be noted that Bruno Guimareas is one that has also come up, and Arsenal are in the chase of Bruno Guimareas, and we're also going to be looking at what exactly could be with the transfer of Bruno Guimareas. Not forgetting that despite the fact that the amount of money that the football player Alexander Isak has for clubs to pay for them, for him to join, has definitely gone up, and is recently been on 120 million pound. Definitely it's gone up, and now it's more than that. But still, Arsenal saying we definitely will have a say when this transfer comes. But now, before we go anywhere near there, let's first talk about the Kylian Mbappe transfer. So I need to get all this. I need to get the Kylian Mbappe transfer, and what Football.London is saying about this very transfer, so that we can see how credible this can be. How should we think that this is? So, uh, uh, let's first see about even first of all, on nowarsenal.com, we see Arsenal Summer Target is saying Arsenal Summer Target says he is as good as Kylian Mbappe. That's not. I want something direct that is talking about this transfer one from Football.London, so that we can definitely get exactly what Football.London is saying about Kylian Mbappe. Okay. And now, Football.London goes on and says, um, Kylian Mbappe transfer announcement timeline confirmed amidst Arsenal shock decision. And this is from Football.London, going on and saying Arsenal could be one of those clubs that he could be moving to. Kylian Mbappe transfer announcement timeline confirmed amidst shock Arsenal decision. Latest Arsenal transfer news with huge Kylian Mbappe announcement expected shortly. In football.london.com goes on and says Kylian Mbappe has revealed his new club will be confirmed soon following his final game for Paris Saint-Germain. The 25-year-old able to end his tenure in the French capital on a high as Paris Saint-Germain beats Lyon to win the Coupe de France on Saturday evening. Mbappe played full 90 minutes, but it was goals which Ousmane Dembele and Fabian Ruiz that sealed the Paris Saint-Germain triumph and Mbappe's 15th trophy at the club. Ahead of the game, Mbappe confirmed he would be leaving Paris Saint-Germain at the end of his contract, with expectation still that he would join Real Madrid as a free agent. However, with no official confirmation as yet, hope remains for other clubs to swoop in and sign him. Mikel Arteta did not even rule out arriving at the Emirates Stadium in a press conference earlier this year. Why not? He's said when asked if Arsenal would be in the conversation to sign Kylian Mbappe, and he said, if we want to be the best team, we are going to need the best talent and the best players. That is for sure. So that gives a bit of hint at or possibly what could be happening, because I think that the best thing to do is to finish these goodbyes. He said, this is Kylian Mbappe saying now, I think all I wanted was to finish well with my club. He's talking about Paris Saint-Germain, and there is a trophy. I think there is a time for everything. I will announce my new club in the due course. I think it's just going to be a few days. There is no problem. Following that admission and the Frenchman final victory, Mbappe traveled back to his old stomping ground for the Monaco Formula One Grand Prix, where he was interviewed on a grid by Martin Bruno. And that's, I think, where football.london had about this. So football.london does not rule out Football.london does not rule out the possibility of the player Kylian Mbappe joining the football club Arsenal. And let's wait and see how this will definitely go. Let's wait and see how all this will go. But I think, according to me, I think it would be a bit difficult, because Football.london goes and says that Kylian Mbappe, there is a possibility, and Mikel Arteta at one time came out and said that Kylian Mbappe could be moving to, there is a chance, you cannot rule it out. But from sources that I have always, the story that I've always followed up about Kylian Mbappe and his transfers and stuff, everything directs the way to Real Madrid. I won't be shocked at all if Kylian Mbappe makes that move to Real Madrid, because, I mean, that's where everybody's expecting him to go. Real Madrid has been trying to get Kylian Mbappe for a long time, And the fact that Paris Saint-Germain has not won in Champions League in a long time, and that's something that Kylian Mbappe has always wanted. That's why he's definitely decided that he's leaving, and going to Real Madrid, that would be a different chapter. That would definitely be a different chapter for him. But if he makes that move to Arsenal, that would also be quite good, because Arsenal is a dynamic club now. It's a good club, much better than it was. But to be honest, I don't see him going to Arsenal. I don't see Kylian Mbappe moving to Arsenal. Being 100% honest, I don't see that happening, despite the fact that this website has come and has gone on and said that it is something that we should not rule out. A last minute move to Arsenal is something that we should not rule out. Anyway, let's hope things will go on quite well, and maybe the smallest of possibilities of Kylian Mbappe joining Arsenal can happen. But to be honest with you, I don't feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like it's not going to happen really. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Arsenal, uh, I think there are some football players that could move to Arsenal, that have building to Arsenal. Maybe like a player like Victor Osimhen, very good one. He's given green lights to Arsenal over Chelsea, so that's a good point for Arsenal to start. But that's not the main reason we're here. The main reason we're talking about Kylian Mbappe, Bruno Guimareas, and Alexander Isak. Anyway, let's hope things really move on quite well. And now let's see what Bruno Guimareas and his transfer uh, uh, to Arsenal could definitely be. And what exactly do we have? What exactly have I got for you about Bruno Guimareas and his potential move? I need to get something from Daily Express. Daily Express brings out a bit of reliable information sometimes. So Daily Express, which is a UK newspaper, says Arsenal transfer dilemmas: Bruno Guimareas and Alexander Isak eyed amidst financial worry. And that's what they're saying. So they go on and say Arsenal's interest in Newcastle star Bruno Guimareas remains, but the likelihood of a success transfer is slim, quite slim. Yeah, so the Gunners are set for a busy summer transfer window to be made on both oncoming and outgoing football players. So Bruno Guimareas and Alexander Isak, another northeast target. Yeah, another northeast target on Arsenal's radar, but Newcastle are reluctant to sell. And I will react to this. I'll give what I think about this. Newcastle reluctant to sell either player, as Isak's hefty price, which is around £120 million, as I told you before, now more, makes his departure unlikely. But there are concerns about Guimareas. So until June, a £100 million release clause for the Brazilian international contract can be triggered, with the specifics of the clause recently disabled. Then express.co.uk goes on and says Newcastle's precious financial fair play situation has been one that has worsened over time, unfolding for Eddie Howe's team in the past weekend. Anyway, so the thing is, there's quite a lot to read over here and talk about, but let's be realistic. Yeah, let's be realistic about this transfer, about these two, about Bruno Guimareas and Alexander Isak. At an honest point of view, I think, no, that even I think, I know for a fact that Newcastle United are facing FFP bleach rules. They will face FFP bleach rules if they do not sell. And it's not just selling a simple football player, one that is not going to get them money. They need to sell so that they can buy. And the fact that maybe a possibility of over £200 million is what has to be spent before they buy. That definitely puts a big number of players on the list of sale, That goes on and shows you that Newcastle United has to sell a football player, not even a football player, because if you're adding up something like £200 million, that's two classic football players. And who is worth that amount of money? Bruno Guimareas definitely is around £100 million. Then Alexander Isak will be, because even though when they say it's 120 plus, a club has to negotiate. I don't see any club that's going to give them more than 120. Clubs will definitely go on and negotiate, So let's hope things go on quite well, and things will possibly move on the way you definitely want them. But for now, I think Newcastle will bow down to the pressure and they will sell the football players. Arsenal wants both football players, but possibly could get one, and that's my prediction. And this is the Arsenal Hub, and my name is Abu Kals. Thank you, and goodbye for now.